family. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's get going. How just want to say how everybody's doing. I'm starting on time. So, but we're gonna run through Married at First Sight really quickly. I got a spoiler at the end that I just heard about, that I just saw. So let's get it going. We're gonna get going with the kind of the most boring couple tonight. The one that we're just gonna get straight to the other stuff. Yeah, because I have a couple questions for y'all. Because I've been on a couple other shows. Of course, I'm on Maria S's show a Wednesday night, and then after talking to Kojo and everybody, I was like, So I just have a couple questions. So let's get it going. We are gonna start with these two. The I want to call him cheapskate, but he's what do you call himself? Economically savvy or whatever, and he's very frugal, but he's got the money. And the RN, the registered nurse. So she's going through it, and she's like, okay, so you wanted everybody to you want all the lights off at a certain time. You want me to do everything like this, and she's like, wow. She said, well, he wants the gaming system off at 6 o'clock. This is gonna cramp her style for real. Like this is not she's not gonna know what to do with herself. So that's one thing. She still doesn't trust him. She still doesn't believe in him, or doesn't think that he believes in her. She is a registered nurse. She made sure and wore those scrubs so everybody would not have an issue or say anything about her not being a nurse. So let's see how long that lasts. Let's see if she can break down those walls and how this is gonna go. Um, and he is extreme with his frugality, extreme frugality. And he said that he was like, "What's the wattage on this espresso machine?" And so she was like, "You're not gonna let me give that up. I will not give that up." So I appreciate her. Getting down and saying, I'm not giving that up. I'm not giving up my espresso machine. You're gonna have to figure out some other ways. But uh this is just he's not gonna be able to get past everything that happened on a honeymoon. And she needs extensive therapy, extensive, right? So now let's go to this one. I said this a couple days ago. I think this man is a professional liar. I don't, especially in this relationship here. I think, yes, he has had situations where he's hung on for a little too long, and there's been red flags, red flags, red flags, but they are so different. They are so different. She doesn't know if she can trust him. And sweetheart, you can't. Um, Everything is very surface level. Hey, Monique, how are you doing? We're gonna get through Mavs quickly, and we're gonna go straight to RTL, because yeah, there was a lot going on RTL. So we're gonna get through Mavs real quick. Um, yeah, again, I think she's a professional. He's a professional liar, especially in this relationship. Maybe in other relationships, he's had situations where he wasn't seeing the red flags, and the women have run all over him. But in this situation, she doesn't know if she can trust him, and I don't think she can. I don't think she can trust him. Um, yeah, and I just feel like he manipulates her. The religion, it's too easy for him to talk like that. So, yeah. Now, I specifically wanted to get the look on this man's face. Okay. When Pastor Cal was looking at him and talking to him, he just wanted to run out of there. He's panicked on his face. And he's like holding her tight, because she's like, I love the fact that our relationship didn't start like really happy and everything. I love the fact that our journey started like this. Girl, you are delusional. Yes, thank you. Stay tuned. He needs to have several seats. He needs to have several seats. So Miguel is like, oh, well, let's just see. I can commit to 2 months, and that's it. And this guy, this look on his face says it all. He don't want to be here. he wants his beach shanty back. He wants to live in a den of um wet garbage and just hang out at the beach and surf. That's what he wants to do. What do you say? Pastor Cal nearly gave Mitch a chest bump when he found out they did. Yes, though. Now that I will agree. We were talking about this earlier in the week. Why on this show are they so quick to have these guys consummate the marriage? They just met. They want them to consummate the marriage, and I think it's too quick. Now with this couple, she thinks that she's running the show. She thinks she's running the show. She's not running the show. So she did that. She kind of manipulated that situation because she thinks she's in charge. She's not in charge. And I don't like how every time, every couple that is the couple that the guy is not interested or not attracted or whatever barrier he's having, the woman feels like she needs to toe the line and she needs to be the one to pat him on the back and tell him what a great person he is. Hey, cool gamer, tell him what a cool, great person he is and um, how what I'm gonna do for you and stuff. And she wants to be the savior and she needs to stop. And that's what happened. I bet you anything. That's what happened on her previous relationship. Now, they were saying yes that she paid all this money for the wedding, but did she buy her ring too? I keep asking this question and I'm just like really hoping that somebody tells me no. I'm really hoping because I know the answer, but I'm just like, please, please, please. Yes. It's not just the roaches, it was the wet beach stuff and it's bad. But I absolutely believe that he lived in a place like that. In California, the beach is the attraction. They'll make um little, houses out of nothing, out of just like I said, a beach shanty. So he actually had a one bedroom that he was keeping all his extra stuff in, extra trash and garbage in. But what did he say? He's a failed minimalist, sir. You're a hoarder, and you need to stop. It's probably 500 square feet, maybe even less, and you need to stop. Would you say she made Mitch walk 2 miles to the store to get her Vicks vapor rub and a bottle of Tussin just to clap? Oh my goodness. That was all he needed. That was all he needed. Some vapor rub and some cough syrup, a bottle of Robitussin. He was way too invested. Yeah, he was way too invested, but he's invested in that. He said, "So what about intimacy?" He gets it. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Um, these coochie cards. He has done nothing to deserve these coochie cards. Nothing. And I'm not saying that a man needs to deserve the coochie cards, but this man does not care for you. He's not attracted to you. He is just waiting until, I mean, look at his face, waiting for the other shoe to drop. The look on his face is like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? So he's not even looking at his arm. Look at his arm. Now here, he's like, let me hold her elbow. But mm-mm. She's doing all the work, and I think that that's how she's done in all of her previous relationships. Okay, y'all. So here's the question. Okay, what did Stay Tuned just say? Kristen shared on the. Oh yes, yes, yes. That's right. That's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much. Stay Tuned review. So it was Kristen, Ben, and oh boy, and Nate. And it was so funny when I don't want to call her Rudy, I want to call her by her name. Keisha Knight Pulliam asked, "So how was the intimacy? How was it?" And she said, "Okay." And she looks over at Nate, and Nate's like, "Don't look at me, don't look at me." She says, "It could have been, it could have lasted longer." I was like, in my Tony Baker voice, he didn't even give you premium pumps. That is just sad. Not even premium pumps. But you're supposed to be in charge. Okay. Hey, Future. Why didn't he give her? Why didn't even? Why didn't Mitch at least give her some premium pumps? That was it. Just 2 pumps or 3 pumps. That was it. It was not. You need to get. This girl thinks she's in charge. She at least should have gotten premium pumps. Mm-mm. These coochie cards were just. Gosh. And she's like, well, we're married now, so we can work on it. Mm-mm. He didn't care to give her premium pumps. That's why, because he didn't. And honestly, he hasn't had to work for it either. He hasn't had to work for it. So that's also what I think as well. He doesn't care to give you premium pumps. Okay, y'all. So here's my question. And I thought about this while watching it. And then when I was on Kojo's show, everybody was talking about this. The first time I looked at his apartment, I said, okay, he has to be making some money if he is in that apartment in downtown San Diego. This is, and then I started looking around and I said, wait a minute, is that an Airbnb? But then how did he get the Airbnb if he wasn't sure that he was going to be on the show? So I really started to analyze this. And I said, okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for now, right? And we had this huge debate. Everybody's like, from last season, Steve has to be making money. Steve's making money. Steve's making money. But Steve refused to tell how much he was making. Steve was there was all these debates, excuse me, about she needs to get us a plan, or it's her plan. What's the plan? What's the plan? But Nate's like, this is how much I make. Now, granted, she makes more, but he's not doing too bad. If that is 150, if he's doing if that is an Airbnb, Airbnbs are expensive, especially in that area. So I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't like the fact that everybody has been saying he's this, he's that. Yes, he has a background of like selling the counterfeits and all the other stuff and the bankruptcy, but I'm just questioning, how much has he made? Okay, is that an Airbnb? Please tell me you guys all think that he's an Airbnb. You can afford a place like that, and honestly, it's not what I do. It's not just SD. It's downtown SD. You got water. You got beach views. You're surrounded. It's just downtown San Diego. But also, that does surprise me that he's not living inland. Like, if you are married, the average couple, excuse me, has to make at least 120 as a couple. So as a single man making 120,000 or 150,000, he can't afford it. And then people are like, well, look at the walls. He doesn't have anything on the walls, but honestly, he lives like a bachelor. Maybe he just moved in there. I don't know. Maybe that it could be a friend's house. But I am wondering. I did think about it when I'm watching it. Is that an Airbnb, or at what point did he get this Airbnb? Airbnbs are still expensive, so he could still be making 150. Now, granted, let's talk about her 415. 415 is a vast difference from 150. Monique, you're saying don't give him any benefit of the doubts. I hear you what you're saying. But that apartment was very bachelor-like. That apartment was a very bachelor-style apartment. It wasn't trashy like Mitch's, and it was even much better than what's his name, Crybaby. So I'm still thinking. I haven't found out yet, but I'm gonna keep launching my investigation. Steve is Oprah rich. I'm wait, what? Steve from last season is Oprah rich. Ben is cheapskate rich. Nate's wealth is under review. Nate's wealth is definitely under review. I don't believe for a second that Steve is Oprah rich. So that's what I'm saying. Stay tuned review. Steve is not Oprah rich. Stop it. um, Ben is cheapskate rich. Ben is thinks the bottom's going to drop out in at any second. Nate is definitely under review. How is he making this money? Because he's also, I'm going to even leave the day trading aside, because he's also says he's a software sales. Software sales can make a lot of money, but and so could day trading. And day trading is kind of catch as catch can. Did he make a bundle at one time and then he saved it? I don't know. So it's still under review. Um, Okay, so let's get into this. So I do want to talk about this: the oatmeal, the empty oatmeal containers, empty Clorox bottles, and no clothes. That is not a place he resides in. I didn't see no clothes. I saw clothes, but I didn't see very many shoes. So I'm wondering, did he just move there or what? Because guys, they got Jordans. I'm surprised that he doesn't have like a couple racks full of Jordans or something like that. So I am thinking about it, Monique. But let's get into these oatmeal containers and everything. Some people do that. Especially some guys. I don't know if he thought that he was going to use it for something else, or hey, this is a sturdy container, so I can use it for something else. I know that there were a lot of them, but I don't know that portion seemed very staged. And I'll tell you why. Because she was like, okay, it's a bachelor pad. It's not too bad. She thought he lived in a in a hole. She thought that she was gonna walk in and she was gonna be scared to death and it was gonna look like Mitch's house. But she was pleasantly surprised. She got all the way in there, got all the way to the bedroom, laid on the bed with her shoes on, and because she's not that type of person to lay on the bed with her shoes on, and then next thing you know, we get a cut and she's tearing the place apart. I'm like, this is staged. I just don't like it. Just doesn't look, and the look on his face was very telling as well, because he just kind of stood there and kind of with a smirk on his face. I think that production told her to go through those cabinets. I'm sorry, I do. Now, what it did remind me of was what's his name's Ryan and Clara, because she walked in, she was like, okay, hmm, hmm. It's a little untidy, but it's not horrible, right? And then she starts looking in the cabinets, and everything is crooked, and everything is just like thrown in. So it did remind me of that. Sasha and Nate, what are you about to say? Sasha and Nate have a supervisor and employee relationship. Ooh, she came into his apartment like Gabrielle Union and Deliver Us from Eva and started inspecting everything. I agree with the Gabrielle Union Deliver Us from Eva and inspector, food inspector kind of thing. I got you on that, but and this is something that I said on Kojo's show. If she doesn't stop and if she doesn't start uh pulling back on the reins and saying, "Oh, I make more money, so I'm in charge." If she doesn't in this next 2 months relax type of attitude and really let him have some things, then they're not gonna stay together. It's gonna be a mess after the fact. Um, And so I did take this picture right here because uh her house does look like a hotel. Her house, why would you the bedroom? Because I like my bed to be really nicely made. I even like several pillows, or I like at least, the decorative pillows too. But to have like a little, what is it? I keep calling it a secretary because it's got the cotton balls and everything. Put that stuff in the bathroom. I don't get that being there on the bed because you're gonna take it off the bed, um, when you go to bed. So why do that? Put it in the bathroom. I think that's overkill. And I'm just wondering. I don't mind her liking presentation, but that's a little too much. Nate is afraid to have kids. and he wants kids, but I think he's not in the right mindset. He just shows his immaturity sometimes. The tray. It's a tray, yeah, but it's like one of those like nice trays that you put like cotton balls and toothpick and not toothpick and cotton balls and things on. So um that's funny. You're right, future. You're right. The way that okay, the way she threw trash on the ground was so rude. I don't care if the trash was in the cabinet. You don't throw it on the ground in disrespect, in my opinion. I agree with that. I think that she was going overboard, and she was doing too much, and she was really going in. And that's what I'm questioning, because she wasn't going in 5 minutes before that. She was laying on the man's bed. So I just didn't so I didn't think that that was real. I was like, why is she just totally like something switched in her head? And so I questioned that. What are my thoughts on Nate wanting to make more money before he has kids? Okay, so a lot of men want to get to a certain place in their lives, whether it's economically or financially, or just career wise, or have certain things or be a certain place in their career before they have kids. Now, I hear you guys on the fact that he's not going to get to that 250, but a lot of men want to be in a certain place in their life, and he feels that he hasn't reached that plateau in his life where, okay, now I can have kids. And I also think, because I was there 2 years ago. I was like, I don't want to be broke with kids, or they've seen their mother, or in his case, maybe his father struggle, and they don't want to be struggling either. So in his mind, he knows that kids are going to be a certain, it's going to take money, and it's going to might have to take him away from his goals for a certain time. So it's going to put him back a little bit. So I hear you guys on the fact that he's not going to get to that 250, but I also think that he wants to be in a certain place in his life before he starts to have kids. But, sir, your wife is 37. You either need to get on the good foot, you either need to get at it, or just start having those kids in the next year to 2 years. That's it. Like, you're not going to be you'll never be ready. You'll never be ready. And that's a decision I had to come to my own head, that the kids are going to be there. The kids are going to come. You need to that mindset either needs to switch, or you need to not have joined MAPS. So um I agree with that. It's so interesting you say that. Trey Mack, Stasha's home looks great, but feels uninviting. Hey, yeah, because one, I love Stasha's home. That island was gorgeous. And I was like, wow, it's almost like the kitchen and the island took up more of the space than the living room. And it was the high boys, the chairs was for about 8 to 10 people. I'm gonna have to look at it again, but that was a lot of chairs at that island. So I don't know. This must be the home that she's living in now, because I know that she's renovating, and she's building another home. So I don't know. Maybe this is one of her properties, right? That she's living in. But it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, but it wasn't uninviting. And you know what, Trey Mack, I think you just hit on something. These are one of her staged homes. That's why she has that tray on the bed. Why? Because if potential buyers come, that's why she has it on there. That's absolutely why. Um, that's so funny. Okay, I got you. I got you, Nick. I got you. Yeah, her house was gorgeous, but now that's so interesting. Now, those are all her clothes and stuff. Huh. I think that this is a potentially one of her homes that she's selling because she is building the other home. I think that Nate wants to make more money because he knows if Stasha spends more than he does on the bills and the child's needs, then she will throw it up in his face. And if she never gets mad at him, um, you have a point. You know, the emasculation is imminent, but I don't think that that's it. I think that he's always wanted to make, more money than he's making now, even before he joined Married at First Sight. But at the same time, he knows that he's going to have to. He knows that he's going to. It's going to be kind of a competition. He knows that he's going to have to step up and do more, and that's it. So, and I don't know that he's in the mindset frame of mind to do that. So, I think, and I was saying this the other night. One, Stasha, you should have just been bought that coffee maker. If that's the one you make for $700, why didn't you buy it before you went on mass? I think that was a stupid argument. Two, if she's always going to be the one that's going to spend money on the kids, like to her, not having that, parentage that she wants to make sure the kids know that they're loved. So I just don't see her being like frugal with the kids and stuff like that. Yes. So, yeah, but that's okay that she has modern woman's tattooed across her forehead. And I was saying this the other night that they were saying, well, he has the audacity to tell her, that he wants some more masculine looks on the bedspread and like less, because that's a little feminine. And I said I disagree. She need She needs to start to compromise now while she's in this shared space. She was like, "Can I take the tray to the house, to the shared house?" Yes, go ahead and take the tray to the shared house. She said, "What about all the pillows?" He said, "Well, can we get some masculine pillows?" I think that she needs to start to incorporate him in her everyday existence now. So when it becomes just her and Nate, and after these, whatever, 2 months, then she'll feel more comfortable with it because she's not going to be easy to compromise. So, yeah, Stasha's about her business. Stasha's about her business, but something feels off about it all. Staged almost. It could be wrong. Yeah, that scene in Nate's house was staged. I think that scene in Nate's house was staged. Sure, especially if she's buying and selling houses, especially if she's a real estate agent in San Diego, like she can make money, doing that. Um, at a certain point, if she's doing as good as she says it, because I was like, is she really? That's why I wait sometimes to see their apartments, because yes, she's talking it and we're hearing all of this, but is she really doing that well? Um, It's just like when I saw Brett and Ryan, I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure about him." And then I saw his house and I was like, "Oh, okay, so he is doing pretty good a couple seasons ago." So yeah, while she's pregnant, her money's probably making money. So she can be pregnant. She has that type of job that she can be pregnant. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, thank you, future. Yeah, just buy the espresso machine. Why are you even discussing it? Just buy it, set it up, and start using it. I just didn't understand that. Like, of course, if you're out and because I have a coffee maker, try to make coffee in the morning, but if I get too busy, if I can run out and get a Starbucks, I will. But that's not what I do every day. So I see her point, but to him, he's thinking long term, let's save. But at the same time, hey, if she's making 415, she could have already bought the doggone thing. So I just thought that it was the conversation. I was like, that's silly. She should have just bought it. And then he wouldn't have had a leg to stand on. Now, on other things, she's going to have to learn to compromise with him. So if she is asking for his feedback, I think she's trying to be submissive. I do think so. I do think I think that Mavs told her to wait until they got back from the honeymoon and see what your husband says about the coffee maker. I agree, though. It's not even trying to be submissive. She's trying to be compromising. It's just like when when he wanted one side of the bed, and he was very like matter of fact and said, I want this side of the bed, but he did sound kind of kiddish when he said, he was like, that's my side of the bed, called it. But at the same time, he was very matter of fact. He's like looking at it and said, can we get some more masculine colors in here? Like, and he's like, I said, boy, you need to speak up. That's what you want. Be very direct and say, let's incorporate me into this place. So I think he needs to be very direct and speak up. But I think he's also, now that he's seen her place, he's like, ooh, this is going to be hard for me to do that. He needs to start doing it now. Random question. I'm not a coffee drinker, but is it true that drinking coffee can lead to having a that I don't know. I don't know. That's so funny. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm not sure about that one. I'm gonna have to look that one up. So wait, you think that she is testing his ability to submit? It's a recipe for disaster. Hate to say it, but she may be forever alone. Wow. Mm. His ability to submit. I do think them visiting her house was a bit of a test. I will agree with you on that, but I think women like that need a man, like a challenge, and I think that he need. I don't want to say, um, but I lost the word I was going to say. But I think that she does want him to be strong and not passive. A woman like Stasha, let's say a woman like Stasha, like Jasmine, like Bree from Bree and Vincent, you cannot be passive with them. Look, women like uh uh vacation rates, you cannot be passive. You can't. It's just no, you can't be passive. So um I definitely think he needs to be speak up and let her know. And that's it. He has to. Okay, I think here we go, y'all. Here we go. Wait, what did y'all say? I missed it. Wait, hold on. Wait, I gotta go back to what Coco Brown said. Hold on. I'll go back for a second. Um, if you're a boss, you make a decision at Trademark. You don't ask permission. She weighed what he said. She asked if we can take this. I do. I liked that she asked though. To me, I like that she asked. She needs to, she wants his opinion, and she wants him to not be passive and say, yes, we can. He was like, sure, I don't care. But then and she asked about the piece, like, this is a lot of pillows. Can we take all those pillows back? Can we get some masculine pillows? So it was like, no, we need some compromise in here. And I appreciated that she did that. And it's important for you to do that, that you don't live alone. Um he's not like crybaby. He's not like somebody's just like, oh, I do what I want. So that's it. Yeah. I want to go down to what did Monique just Trey Mac just say? Um and she always knows it, which is why she even did this kind of show. Yo, she's not gonna find somebody that's in her salary bracket in San Diego. She would have to, even if she moves out of state, even if she lived here in Atlanta, it's they're gonna be much older, probably have kids that are like from it's just not gonna she's not gonna find somebody that's a potential and that wants to grow with her. And it's sad. I really hate saying that, but I was in that situation in San Diego. So, so, oh, let's get to Puppy Gate, y'all. Let's get to Puppy Gate. Let's get to, let's get to this. This man's crying one more time on this episode. I can't take it. She's so you see how Alexis puts her foot down, and she's like, "No, that's it." So I actually got, because first I saw the scratch, and then I saw, hey, because the what's her name, Maya. Maya was on one side, like it was like she had gotten like this to scratch, and then she bared down and got his eye. Man, free Maya, free Maya. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Newton, um, there's a couple things. She calls him baby. She babies him. My dog is my dog. Penny Strong. She's tough. She's actually smaller than Newton, but she lets Newton have the run of the house, and so she just opened that crater up and just let Newton run around instead of actually, you know, getting them acclimated, getting them to, meet each other and be in a safe place where they can say that they're friends. They need to, you have to actually get down to a dog's level and like introduce them to each other, right? But no, she didn't do that. But this dog started growling. Maya started growling immediately. I actually don't think that Maya's a bad dog. I think that Maya is sequestered with him all the time. He's had her since he's had Maya since she was 5 weeks old, since she was a baby. All she knows is one master, one person, and now you bring her into the house with two dog with another dog and a cat and a small house and the whole thing, and you didn't properly um do what you were supposed to do. That's it. And then you throw Maya in the closet. She doesn't even know that she did anything wrong. To her, Maya was the opposer. To her, or sorry, Maya, Newton was um she's like, who's this? And Maya thinks that she's protecting Justin. So it was just all bad. But she did right. She got on the phone. She took him to emergency hospital, got him all stitched up, and the cone. He needed to be in the cone because if he didn't, he would scratch the eye. His dirty paws would scratch the eye and make it worse. So she did exactly what she was supposed to do. But Mavs is wrong for going and showing that dog kennel. That was horrible. That was horrible. And dog lover, I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So, what is everybody saying? Maya snatched Newton up like he cheated on her with a $2 garden tool. Justin was just sitting by, like, do I tell Alexis? Oh my God, that Maya thug. Oh my God. Do I keep quiet? But the fact that she said, oh, what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And look at he's smiling. I got this picture. I was like, he's smiling. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. He's not smiling intentionally. I think that he does this nervous smile, but he tries to calm the situation and everything's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have just thrown all those animals into one small area and not properly train them, and you should take Maya around other dogs more often. You have to acclimate them with other dogs. Um, Yes, the dog could have lost an eye. He absolutely Newton could have lost his eye if she didn't take him immediately. That's at least 2 stitches. Because also if he didn't have that cone on, dogs like to scratch and everything. He could, if he's got an open sore, he could scratch the eye. He could have lost that eye. Yeah, he could have. But so she knew to get him stitched up immediately. And the fact that he's only going to be on that cone for a week, um some dogs are on the thing for 2 weeks or a month. So Yeah, they should have been in a neutral space, like a park, on a leash. They both should have been, but that's another thing. Both those dogs should have been on a leash, and they should have walked them around and said, "This is your area. This is your area, not everywhere else." So my dog knows she got, this is your pad. Like, introduce her to where she's supposed to be. This is your stuff. These are your food bowls. This is where you're supposed to be. He didn't do any of that. Maya probably needed a muzzle, yep, and take them for a walk together and get them, yeah, acclimated. Absolutely. But they did nothing. And then they just waited to Google it. Oh, we should have Googled that, huh? No. And then, yeah, you said that right before Maya scratched her. And then the planes, yes. So he said that the planes go by every 3 minutes, and dogs are very good with sounds too. They can't see very well, but they hear everything. Maya was sitting in Justin's place, gotta hear planes flying by every 3 minutes, and gotta chase Justin's laser whenever he wants. Yeah, he wants a good laugh. Wants a good laugh. She was ready. She was ready because she was growling. She was in a stance. She was ready to snap. And you take her to a new place, and he hasn't seen Maya. I keep calling her he, but Maya's a she. That's another thing. Maya's a she. Newton's a he. That's very suspicious to me. Um, yeah. And then you don't acclimate them or nothing. That's not good at all. Um, it was crazy. It was totally avoidable. That big crybaby saw what was happening, um, and and so did the cameraman. Lindsay stayed on, yes, the entire time. I bet you there were two cameras on there, and the director was like, "Keep one camera on the dogs at all time." He knew it. He knew. He knew. He said, "Keep one camera on the dogs at all time." Yes. But I really want to talk about this next scene, though, y'all. So she did what she was supposed to do: get her to an emergency hospital, get her stitched up, and get, because she could have lost an eye. Uh, but then taking Maya to get trained and taking her to that dog kennel was horrible. And I really don't like Maps for doing that, because we didn't have to see it. We didn't have to see that. Now, this man crying while he's talking to Pastor Cal. Two things. Uh, she knows how. She knows that this man. She knows how to get under somebody's skin. She knows what words to say. She knows how to just beat you down with words, especially Justin. She knows how to do it. And I really question, I kept saying last week, girl, don't say all this ooey gooey stuff and love all on him and just be all over him. And you know you're not feeling it, right? The minute the dogs get into a fight, she's out of there. And a lot of people were like, well, if you can't give up your dog for your marriage, then you're the problem. But at the same time, he's had Maya since she was 5 weeks old. She's had Newton since he was a baby. I just think he shouldn't have said, "Okay, I'll get rid of the dog if it happens again." He shouldn't have said that, because he knows that that's not true. He knows he said, "Well, keep in mind, it's not going to be easy for me." So what he was saying was, if you want me to do that, really understand how hard that's going to be for me, and I'm gonna need some cuddle time. I'm gonna need some cuddling. I'm gonna need you to care for me. I'm gonna need you to be nice to me. And I need you to just whisper sweet nothings in my ear, because it's going to be really hard for me and I'm going to be depressed. Justin, stop. You should have gotten Maya trained a long time ago. You should have put a muzzle on her, especially when introducing her to new other pets. Yeah, they definitely. Oh, that's actually a good idea, Mimi. Parenting classes is a good idea. But what Justin said when he started crying really got me, because he said, "I feel like I'm a bad parent. I feel like I'm a bad dog parent." And I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the point of you being a bad parent to Maya. I think you loved Maya, but the point is, when certain situations happened, You didn't take her to get training, and then you kind of sugarcoat things. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. That's not the point. And I don't think that he gets the point. And y'all go with me here. I think that this is what's happened in his previous relationships. I think that he'll say what he wants to keep the situation going, to keep his idea of perfect. And perfect isn't perfect. Perfect isn't perfect. And I think he has such all of these standards, and he's so hard on himself, and it takes just the slightest thing to break this man down. Um she's too much for him, and he needs a lot of confidence. He needs a self-esteem. He needs therapy. He needs therapy. Yes, Alexis is going to break that man's soul by the end of this. And I don't feel sad about it. Justin's brother warned the viewing audience of everything. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not surprised. I definitely think that, again, I say it again, he's going to be in a dark room rocking back and forth with smoking and drinking like acrimony. It's not going to be good. But I also think um, that I kind of, just as Trey Songz just said, I don't feel bad about it. I think that there's a lot that Justin needs to work on. I think, and also I think that this is going to be hard for her because he's so emotional and she's not emotional at all. Like, this is emotionally draining for her. This is going to be really a lot for her to take on when she's trying. But when you're so far the other type of person, and you meet and you're married to somebody like Justin, think about it. This is going to be so emotionally draining for her. So, and I mean, I'm not trying to be on Alexis's side, but I do see the fact that he cries. He's crying for nothing. He's crying um over a friend. He's crying over slight things. He's not crying because somebody passed away. He's not crying over like big things. He's not crying for any real reasons. Um because words hurt to him. And this is not good. I think he needs intense therapy and just and maybe some medication. I kind of side with Alexis on this. The ultimatum was contingent upon Justin agreeing that Maya wouldn't attack Newton again. Justin comes off as a professional victim. He does come out. I hear you on that. Actually, I side with although I believe that Alexis being very strong and just stern in this. And what Justin was saying was, just keep in mind this is going to be hard for me. And she got angry. And he wasn't saying I won't do it, but he's saying this is going to be hard for me to give her up. I do think that Justin should have just given Maya to her brother, or taken her to a kennel before they went on their honeymoon, something. But I hear what you're saying, though. I just think that this is, if she said my dog means a lot to me, and I think that she says what she means. I think that she is somebody that it was not very easy for her to just get emotional and get attached and all the things, but it's easy for him to say I love you after 3 days. So yeah, I hear what you're saying on that. Stay tuned reviews. Yeah, you have to learn to work through difficult situations as an adult. Brushing things under the rug only makes things worse for real life situations. Exactly. Exactly. Just say it. If she said, my dog means a lot to me, my dog means a lot to me. And I don't discount that Justin's dog means a lot to him, but he was kind of just like, oh, it'll be fine, just to make her feel better. But if my dog got into more than two situation one time, okay. The second time, we're stopping all this. We're taking you, but she's actually got none. So I'm like, no altercations ever. So, but if that happened, we got to take you to either get trained or make sure you're not around any dogs. But I made sure and acclimated her around dogs immediately as soon as I could. So that's a bad photo shot. I tried to go. Justin was watching the holding of the leash and everything. Yes, yeah, he was holding her back in the kitchen for the longest time, and then he started, and I even think Justin said, you just let your dog run around. You just let her off the leash like that. I think he was surprised. No, but Justin Maya was the only one crying. Yeah, I would have listened to him. Exactly. But that's kind of where she started to fall. That's kind of where she got emotional and she was actually she said the LOVE word, but then she kind of cracked on him. Her whatever she was saying, I can't even remember you. What did she call him? Caramel melon head, whatever she said to him. That's how she really felt. That's how she really felt. Justin holds a member for cast member who cried the most throughout any given season, and we're still 10 episodes away from the reunion. Exactly. Yeah. So Justin's fragile concept of love, he has fear. Yes, that's another thing. He lives through fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing, fear she's not going to like me. That's not right. That's not right. Yeah, he's an idealist, and he just has this idea of love, and it's not. You don't even know. You guys don't even really know each other. So y'all, let's keep going. Let's keep going because this right here, I'm so afraid to see next with the dogs. I really hope he gets Maya out of this kennel. Um, because that was not right. That was not right. Because it didn't look like a training camp. It just looked like all the dog crying. Y'all, you guys have seen my dog. Oh my gosh, the dog crying like that, I would not know what to do. Yes. Okay. So I think we're about to get into this. Yes. Let's get into RTL. Let's get into RTL, you guys. Whew. Okay. I really want to know. Okay. So a couple of things I have to say. I like Randall. Is he my Phil this season? Please tell me. Please tell me, is he Phil? Because I think Randall might be Phil this season. Um, but I think he is Phil. Wait, I think I think you might be right, Coco. Well, they're competing right now. They're competing. They're competing. But Randall, he's got Kayla, Char- Trine- I'm pronouncing her name wrong. The one with the hand. I don't think he tried to choke her. Did he? Oh, the other girl, right? I don't think. But he's got Trinika, Kayla, and the other girl. And I think he really likes the other girl. So okay, so I didn't finish watching that. What did he say? Stay tuned reviews. I just saw the beginning and I was like, "Ooh, maybe I'll watch this later." Was he talking about Trinika wrong? Because I think she's very pretty. The girl that sprained her arm. I didn't see the whole thing. Yeah, I didn't like the feeding her the steak though. I didn't like that. I just was like, y'all can do this another time. But I thought that this and he likes to hold hands. He likes that whole thing. He likes the presentation of it all, I think too. I'm starting to like Randall. Randall was the one that I thought that was going to get kicked off the first scene at first episode, but then as the show went on, I said, "Oh no, it's going to be one of the other guys." So, I actually like Randall, but now that I see it, I wonder how many dates they've gone on. If this is their one and only date, because they'll show one date, but they might have gone on more than one date. Um, she's getting too jealous, y'all. That she's doing too much. If they've only gone on one date, you're doing too much. Okay, he was just getting turned off because Trinika is the one with the wrist. She's the one with the wrist brace. She's the one with the wrist brace, and I actually really like her. Uh, and I thought that there was the right amount of flirting, and it was the right amount of like let's get to know each other. But at the whatever, not white party or the pre-party, Kayla was doing too much. She was just, I saw you over there. I saw you over there with old girl. What's her name? It's not Jessica. It starts with the other. I don't want to talk about her wig. I don't want to talk about it. But yes. Um. So y'all just start. What do you tell me about Mr. Justice? Mr. Justice. Um. This whole him walking in with the hat and the shades and old girl really liked him. Old girl really liked him. I think a lot of all the ladies really liked him. Yes, no, no, no. Her wrist brace. She walked in with the wrist brace. She sprained her wrist a week before the pool party, a week before the intros. Yes, yes. The ladies are noticing. Well, she's noticing. Kayla's noticing at least. I think Trinika understands that it's, you're getting to know each other. I don't think that, well, I haven't seen Trinika getting territorial like Kayla, right? But um Jamila, thank you. That's Jamila. That's who I wanted to know. Kayla was angry. Randall was interacting with Jamila. That's the name I forgot. I was like, it's not Jessica, it's Jamila. But and this is Jamila. This is Jamila with Justice. Okay. So they talked a lot at the mixer, but I guess he's a mover and a shaker and a motivator in Miami. And Justice don't care about don't care about this show. He don't care what's going on. He don't care about these women. He don't want to know anything. He don't want to be there. And just as he said, I'm a different kind of guy. I'm a different type of guy. So she was like, how do you let me know that you're interested? And he said, well, I'm different. I interact differently. What's different? You don't interact at all. He said, I don't, I'm a one woman type of person. I don't have a lot of different dates and stuff like that. But then you're the one, I'm the king. This is when he's saying, I'm the king. I'm the king right here. And she's like, huh? The king of what? And she's trying to say, well, you can't be like that. You can't be like that. What got me during the white party, she was still interacting with him. She was still keeping time with him. I was like, girl, if you're not interested, just move on. I think you might be right. I definitely think you're right. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah, he's full of himself and thinks, yeah, he thinks he's all that. He's full of himself and he doesn't want to be there. He don't care. You think he's a plant? Donna D, you think he's a plant? Justice must be a plant. He could not think that his behavior is conducive to this process. Absolutely. He doesn't, I don't think he's a plant, but I think he don't care. I think that he's got to a point he probably made his rounds the first what couple of they had the pool party and then they had the brunch. By the brunch, the ladies were like not interested. Well, there were a couple ladies that were kind of still interested. Kayla had moved on. A couple of them had moved on. So, you know, Jamila, she kept trying and keep trying. By the brunch, he was done. Um, so he's like, I got other things going on. And also, we're going to get to him leaving in a second. But yeah, he just doesn't care. And I was like, okay, let me see what Jess is talking about. Nope. Yeah, he was like, not in my party, but I actually think they knew. At least production knew. Tommy might not have talked to him, but production knew. But yeah, he don't care. He don't care. And the way he was talking to her, I was just like, what is this man talking about? like he really does not want to be there. He's not interested in her. He was like, "You're the one that has to pursue me. You're the one that has to do for me. I'm the king." Okay, I always say this girl is politicking. She is always politicking and making her rounds. So we're gonna do this a little differently. First, no, first she says she wants to talk to Zoe. She's like, Zoe, I hadn't talked to you. I haven't talked to you. Let's talk. And this is the second time she has said, well, Zoe wouldn't be the typical guy that I'd be interested in, but I'm trying to open up my mind. I'm trying to do things a little differently. That's the second time you said that. Stop it. Hey, Ravine. Hey, Ravine. Yeah, well, I think they all had to work as well. Like even last season, the season before, I remember the Walter season, a couple of those guys, they still had events to do. They still had their own jobs. They still had to work as well. Yeah. He's trying to get kicked off. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's Charisse. That's Charisse. Oh, she rubs me very wrong. Just rubs me the wrong way. That's Charisse. Yes. Okay. So now after this, so we're gonna see next episode, excuse me, Donna D. Cherie should have been gotten kicked off. They are keeping her there to be one of the persons people love to hate. I think so too, but I really want to ask this of you guys because they're starting to really see a different side of her. Do you guys believe this different side of her that we're seeing? One, and I almost think that she's better one on one because she's rubbed everybody the wrong way at first, right? Um, we're gonna see in the um, next week's episode that her and Zoe get into it, and I really want to see this because Zoe raises his voice at her. This was not just a little bit of he kept calling her fake, but I said, "Oh no, 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 sir. You're raising your voice. You're getting out of hand." But what tripped me out was she's sitting on the other side of the couch with somebody else, right? And she looks over at Mike and she says, "You hurt my feelings." What? No, you scared me. You scared me. He's like, what? I scared you. He said, okay. And so they cut the scene, and the other two people that were in the scene walked off so they can have a conversation. And he's like, no, come over. You can sit close to me. You can come closer. And he apologized, but she's all getting in his face. You hurt my feelings. You scared me. You're like, why are you single? You're 45. And I hear her on that. I totally hear her on that because I didn't appreciate him doing that. But I think that she kind of does the same thing. Not kind of thing. She does the same thing. She did the same thing a couple weeks ago. I just think that she's the same person. When she gets hurt, gets offended, she rubs people the wrong way. So I kind of, they just are not seeing her like that. I wasn't feeling how Charisse got an apology out of Mike, got her feelings to the corner, got her friends to corner Mike at the party about what he said, and she still voted him to get eliminated. So Mike voted her to get eliminated this time. Um, I didn't like her saying that at the couch in front of everybody. Why didn't she take Mike aside and say, "Hey, can I talk about our interaction last week or something like that?" No. She pointed it out and put him on blast in front of everybody at the couch. So I did not like that part. I didn't like how she did it. And so I'm glad they cut the scene. I'm wondering if one of the castmates said, "Can you cut? We'll leave," because as we're going to see later, some people want to say stuff in front of other people, and it's not right. So I actually think that the way that happened was, I'm side eyeing the way that happened was kind of shady. I predicted that Zoe and LJ had no chance of making it to the finale without even seeing a single episode. I hate to say it, but to along, them two, along with Sean, just don't fit the rest of the guys. Which one is Sean? Zoe? Who? There's which one is Sean? I don't know which one Sean is. Who's Sean? Stay tuned. um, I agree with you on Zoe though. I really wanted to see a couple other dates with Zoe, and I was like, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it for him. He also reminds me of Cornelius from last season, who got kicked off after 2 episodes. Oh, the first episode. That's why he got. That's why I don't know who Sean is, because he got eliminated. Um, The only guy who likes her is the bright. Yes, and I'm about to go to their next scene as well, because I don't understand that. I just don't see that at all. She's pissed off all the others with you're not my type, but I'm gonna get to know you, but tries to tear them down with her slick talk. Yeah, I feel like she walks in, she's politicking. I just feel like every interaction I see is she's just throwing these. I'm like, let me interact with you. Let me politic with you. Let me like she's shaking hands and kissing babies. I just get that feeling. And I think that and oh, I hate this. I hate to say it, but maybe Zoe is getting that feeling too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't want if he did yell and yell at her, and that's not going to be cool. So let's see how that goes. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, okay. So I did mix them, y'all. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We'll talk about them later. Um, This is Jamila and Randall, and then we got Kayla and Randall, and I didn't put Trinika and Randall in here because their dates weren't here, but their interactions weren't on this episode. But I didn't appreciate how Kayla got jealous. And like she's really like in her feelings about it. If he's having an interaction or he's holding hands with somebody else, girl, leave it alone. Like he's trying to get to know you. Now, I do think there was some like sexual energy. I do think that him and Jamila um were feeling each other. I think that that was some sexual tension. And I said, okay. I thought that Jamila and Trinika had more sexual energy, more sexual just like that chemistry than Kayla. I That's the feeling I got. Samson, that's the word. I was like, there's the guy's name with a Bible. I was like, what's his name? So thank you, Ravine. I was like, what's his name? So yeah, so yes, but um, I think that he's not gonna appreciate the the little jealous vibes that he's picking up, and she needs to relax. She needs to relax. This is the part of the show. You need to find out who's interested in you. You need to start to, look at other people. So I agree with you, Mimi. I don't think her person's there. Sorry, her person isn't there. She likes to waste people's time too. I think that she is kind of wasting people's time. I don't see that her person's there. I think that she's genuinely interested in Randall. She said that her and Randall have things in common and stuff like that. I didn't really see it. They had a cute interaction about kids, and I thought that was cute. I thought that he was being funny, but I think that that's Randall. I said Randall's you know that type of goofy. He's cute and he's funny, and he's that goofy that like women like. That I was like, oh, you're a little corny. I kind of like you, And he's handsome, and he's affectionate, and he's all the things. So I see why, but she needs to pull all the way back. Stay tuned said, I think a few of these cast members have already, smashed off camera. They were extremely comfortable around each other at the white party. Say that again. I thought the same thing. As a matter of fact, I think now they may not have smashed, but I think this chemistry, this sexual energy between Jamila and Randall was palpable. I think that that showed something. I don't think they have. I don't think Kayla and Randall have, but I think Jamila and Randall and possibly Trinika and Randall. Um, they've been doing stuff. So I think you're right. Yeah, so she was acting very possessive and for no reason. I was like, girl, that's what I kept asking. I was like, is this the only date you've been on with him? If this is one date, uh, you need to relax. Stop. Stop. So and I just I didn't like that. And I don't think Randall would like that. Like if this is just one date, you're doing too much. Was Zoe's ready to go. Ready to go with them rhymes. So yeah, she's doing too much. Okay, so I want to know what y'all think of this because there's a lot of things I think I'm gonna get into the Shakira of it all in a second. But this whole conversation, so she's sitting there with, and here we go, got we what's her name? Kinnear, Kadeen, or something like that. And we got Mike in the front, and then we got Jamila again, right? And they're talking about the conversation that Mike had with Charisse. They're talking about this interaction. So they're all saying, "Well, you had to do it. You had to have that conversation, and it's okay. You had to apologize. It's okay for you to do that, right?" And then I keep forgetting her name wrong, but she was the one on the chopping block last episode, and she's like, well, as a black man, and yes, I'm gonna go there. It's best for you to just sometimes toe that line and do what you have to do, and maybe you shouldn't have done that way." And I was like, oh gosh. And so Shakira starts to get up and say, I don't want to get up and mix the drama. I don't want to get to me, and we're going to go through this again in a second. This is not the place for Shakira. And I really like her. I think she's a beautiful girl. Um I think that she's very smart, but I also think emotionally, I don't know that this is the right time for her to be on this show. I don't know that her guy is there, and um, things are just way too raw. I don't know how long it's been since her divorce. I thought she said 3 years, but that doesn't mean anything. 3 years, uh, things can still be raw. It can feel like 3 months sometimes. And then you get back in the dating pool and then you realize, oh, wait, I may not be ready for this. Or even if I'm ready for the dating pool, maybe I'm not ready for this situation. So everything is a little too raw for her. But I also don't think old girl should have put her information on blast like that. Now, even if people knew, even if everybody was talking about it, she should not have said that. She said, due to your situation, you may be too emotionally close to it. And I just stop talking. Just stop talking. What is Donna D saying? Um, I might go back into or what everybody's saying. I hope colorism um wasn't it wouldn't show its ugly head. If you'll notice, the two ladies eliminated so far were darker ladies. Okay, Dominica and April. The next one better not be Kayla, otherwise it will be it will seem sus. Well, I think the next one is going to be Charisse, but I also thought Charisse was going to get eliminated 2 weeks ago. So that's very interesting, Donady. Um, there are some times I definitely believe that colorism is a factor in some of these seasons. I thought it was a factor in Houston, so we will pay. I'll be paying attention to that. I think Therese is going to go soon. I thought that she would, but I also thought she was going to go 2 weeks ago. So let's pay attention to that, y'all. You think Kayla gets eliminated? I agree that Kayla will get eliminated. She's more nutty. She's more okay. I don't know that it's going to be Kayla. I don't think it's going to be Kayla. I think that she might get saved. I don't think it's going to be Kayla. I think that Kadeen can is it Kadeen? Could I don't remember her name. And it's actually kind of a pretty name too. But I think she's going to be I think it's going to be her and Sharice. I think the one that was on the chopping block last time and Sharice are going to be on the chopping block this time. So that's who I think is going to be. Trey Mack said, Shakira needs to go home. She hasn't healed enough, nor is she ready for this type of environment. That's exactly what I'm saying, Trey Mack. I don't think that she's ready for this. And I think she's a beautiful girl. I honestly, well, we'll get into the next thing with LJ. Yes, she came on the show too soon. Let's just go to the next one. Because I really wanted to know what you guys thought about the scene, though, about the ladies, talking about Charisse and the interaction behind their back. But we can talk about that in a second. Let's go to this. Actually, I want to go back. I want to go to this because Sis was making her rounds too, right? So you got her interaction with LJ, the first episode, I was like, okay, I think that her and LJ's date is going to be really cute. I can't wait to see her date with LJ, the man who thinks he can sing but can't. I did pull that picture of him on the guitar with Tranika, but I didn't post it because I was like, I'm done with, with him and his guitar. But so she says, well, you didn't call me, you I thought you were interested and then you pulled back. And he's like, tiptoe? He's like, she's like, no, I'm gonna walk away. And so he said, I called you and you didn't pick up. And she said, but I called you back. So I guess they've had one call, one phone call. What I'm wondering, y'all, is that one phone call, she brought up the previous trauma with her ex. Now, if she brought that trauma up and it scared him and made him pull back, that's a good scenario. That's an ideal option. Or was she just too much too soon? What was it? Because the first episode, I was like, oh, okay. I actually thought that they were a cute couple, but now like he just totally fell off, and um now he's navigated to Looney. Now he's navigated to Looney, right? But I think that she was a little brazen in her conversation with him. And I feel like maybe he was trying to start over. And I'm not one to give the guys the benefit of the doubt. But this episode, I saw her kind of making her rounds too. And then she starts talking to Samson. Thank you for reminding me of his name. And then and with Samson, it was very flirty, right? It was very flirty with Samson. And I was like, what are you doing flirting with Samson? You know, you don't want to flirt with Samson. And I was like, this is way too flirty, right? And then her conversation with Randall, I was like, oh, girl, you are in need of some words of affirmation. And he was like, you've got it all. He was like really building her up. He was giving her so many words of affirmation, and that just made her melt so quickly. I was like, girl, this man could say two words to you and you would just be all over him. So I just thought that that was really uh interesting. That I thought I was like really all in for an LJ and Shakira date, and then it didn't happen, right? Shakira called AJ out with which should have happened behind closed doors, but she did it on camera. And when the ladies had the power to eliminate, double whammy. Yep, that could happen. That could happen. I don't know. Next episode, I think that she might self eliminate. That's what it looked like to me. I think that it gave me Shiloh vibes. So, um, I don't know about double whammy. I think that she might walk away. Um, I just think that she's too emotional. I just think that she's not ready for this process, and flirting with Samson because LJ disappointed you, and then having conversation with a friend conversation, which is what that conversation with Randall was, obviously a friend conversation, and like, help me build me up, I don't know what's going on here type of conversation. And you're a beautiful girl, you've got everything going for you, and yes, you've had this trauma. And she even said, when it comes to me dating, I definitely tell guys that what's happened to me in my past. I tell people about my past, but she wanted that option to tell about her past. I agree with her on that. Kadeen should not have said that out loud. Totally agree with you. But at the same time, I just think that she's handling this way wrong. I just think that and she's not emotionally ready for it. Shanika's was Randall rated. Yes, give him the draws after those words of encouragement. Exactly. These are just friendly words of encouragement. Just um Shakira, relax. I really think that this on her head was just a little too much jewelry. I like the necklace, but just one piece of necklace, just one. Before you walk out the door, take one thing off. It should have been this headpiece. But other than that, she's not emotionally ready for this process. She needs to date one on one, and um maybe just sit on the bench and heal for a second. You know, maybe this was just breathing through a fire hose for her. It was just too much. I really liked her conversation with Randall, and I really think that Randall's a genuinely good guy, though. I want LJ to stay stay. I want LJ to stay for Looney's sake. I thought Zoe wouldn't get eliminated as soon because Tommy called it, yes, a frat brother. I thought the same thing. Well, we know that Zoe's not going next week because he him and Sharice get into it. Justice should be the one to leave since he left Tommy's party, and I think he is going to be the one to leave. But I also think, and we'll get into that in a second. Um, Mystery Max saying these ladies and men are forced to fake friends. The bro girl code will never apply in these situations. If you say something, the rest of the cast and viewing audience will know about it. So I agree with that. I totally agree with that, because just because you said it in the ladies' lounge doesn't mean that the ladies aren't going to get on the phone with the guys and say something. I don't think so. How did you feel about Looney friend zoning LJ but giving Swayze a lap dance that was funny? I don't think she's friend zoned LJ at all, because when LJ was on the chopping block, she was like, "Oh no!" Like, she said it audibly. She said, "Oh no." So I think that she's still interested, but I also think, Looney is not. She's not counted out any of the guys. Like she said, she lost a week and she's trying to see where everybody else is. And who everybody else's option is. So I don't think she's friend zoned him at all yet. Yeah. But I really like Shakira. She's just not ready for this process. And I think she may self-eliminate next week. Oh, let's go back one. Let's go back to this one here. So, y'all get her name right for me. Is it kind of Karina and Swayze? I'm not seeing that at all. This actually, I do like her top though. This is actually a really cute top. I think all the ladies looked beautiful. These are the couples that I'm just not seeing. I don't understand it. Like, what are they doing? This makes no sense to me. I think Mike likes to have these just conversations. He just likes to keep time with women because he knows that he's not interested in Kayla. He told Kayla, "Oh, you're too young." That was like one of the first things he said on the bowling alley date, right? Thank you. Cadian. It's Cadian. Thank you. Stay tuned reviews. It's Cadian. But he really, and this is another thing. Mike is interested in Brandy. Brandy wants kids. Mike, you've got 4 kids. When is that going to start to unravel for us? I need to start seeing that unravel because I'm not seeing that yet. Okay, so there, y'all, the guys are saying that they. Okay, y'all, we're gonna have to stick look at that. And then this right here, the Samson and Sharice of it all. Samson just wants to keep time with a woman. He don't care. He don't care. She's the one person that nobody likes. So he's like, sure, I'll sit here with you. Have your boobs in my face. That's okay with me. So I'm like, this, yeah. So I was just like, why aren't they? But this is another thing. I keep seeing Mike with Brandy, and I'm like, Brandy, go talk to Randall or somebody else. Go talk to Samson or Swayze. You need to stop putting your eggs in Mike's basket because that ain't gonna work. I just don't see it. Okay, so elimination, right? So we got Zoe and we got LJ. Um, and we got, of course, Justice. Justice had his clothes with him. I think production knew he was going to leave. He told them. He told them. He's like, they were probably there since 11 or 12 in the afternoon. He's like, okay, I can be here until 8 or 9, but I'm not being here all night with you guys because I got another engagement. And he left to go to his grand opening. He had to go. He told him, but Tommy, because he's not um fan favorite, or he's not engaging with one woman, he's not getting the dates that they want him to. He's like, Tommy, make it look like you're annoyed. I just don't think that nobody knew. I don't think that Tommy didn't know that he wasn't leaving. Cadian. Cadian and Muscle Shirt already kissing. Yes, they were kissing. And just like somebody said earlier, we think that some of these guys are already smashing. Yes. So I definitely know. I feel like they knew. They knew. They knew. I think the women I really I think the women uh overwhelmingly voted for LJ to get the boot, but nephew Tommy isn't feeling justice leaving. So they eliminate the elimination may carry over to next episode. It's going to carry over to the next episode, and we will get a man and a woman eliminated. I think so too. I think that in the beginning of the episode, it's going to be justice, and at the end of the episode, I think it's going to be, well, I was going to say I think it's going to be Charisse, but if if Shakira self eliminates, then they don't have to do an actual elimination. That's what I'm thinking. So I think that she's kind of hurt. She's crying. She's not emotionally ready for this process anymore. She's not finding anybody for her. So yeah, thank you, Brandy. Leave Mike alone. Just go find somebody else. Look, Brandy, like, talk to Randall. Talk to anybody else, Brady. Just leave Mike alone. He ain't it. He ain't it. So I actually think that's how it's gonna go. But hey, I'll get back in here and you guys can and I will apologize if I'm wrong. They showed Nair vote for Zoe. Yeah, they showed Nair vote for Zoe. Then They showed more nay votes for Zoe than LJ, but we know it's all up to the production. We do know it's all up to the production. They want the drama. They want the the arguments. They want to see who. They want to see some cat fights. They want to see some emotion. They want to see crying. LJ's not giving them that. LJ's not. LJ's trying to be a smooth guy, and they're gonna get it from Samson next weekend. So or next week. So that's what they're gonna find. Um, but also, I LJ is a one woman guy. He's sticking with Looney. I also think Looney needs to spread her love around as well. So I don't think that she should stick with LJ either. But she's really liking him. Who are we to say she's really liking him? So I think it's going to be Justin at the top of the show, and um Sharice or Shakira at the end of the show. I think Nephew Tommy will give the men another chance to impress the women before the official elimination. Well, you think he's gonna do that because Justice left? Because we know Zoe is staying, so it's either LJ or Justice. So that's it's either them two. And LJ, he's a nice guy, but I haven't seen him I haven't seen Zoe making any connections with anybody either, though. So I'm just not seeing it. So I see why they've picked those three guys. I just honestly, Justice needs to go. He just needs to go. I just don't. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. He's not finding any. And Jamala, she's not interested. She knows she's keeping time with him. They had one date, but she's more interested in Randall, as she should be. He does. That's Mimi. LJ probably has a whole family across the waters. Absolutely. Actually, I think that's what he said. His whole family is in the Virgin Islands, and he's the only one here, which is kind of surprising. Usually, they have a cousin or they have somebody or a little brother or somebody here. So he said his whole entire family. So I hope we dive deeper into more of their story, but we probably won't. We probably won't. They don't give us more of the story. They just want to see dates. They want to see drama. They want to see emotional tears. And this is the third season in a row where I feel like something has happened um behind closed doors or off camera. So that's all they really want to see. So yeah, I'm pretty positive that this is it. I really that's my prediction. Who are you guys predicting is going? If it's not Sharice, because everybody is saying that, well, we know Sharice is going to at least be there next episode. But I think she's going to go. Who else does he have? He's had a date. He had a date with Shakira. Who? What other dates? And that's it. He was supposed to have a date with Kadian, but we haven't seen it. And he had the conversation with Sharice, but that's it. Randall had a date with Looney. He was supposed to have a date with Shakira, but didn't. And that's it. I feel like these dates are moving slow. The only one we're really seeing dating is Randall. Looney? Why would Looney be in the bottom? Stay tuned, you messy. You being messy. I don't see that. I don't see that. I do think of the ladies, Katie and Sharice. But again, we've got that wild card that Shakira talks to talks to nephew Tommy. But Looney, I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see that. So I do wonder how next week is going to go, because I kind of wish Justice didn't leave, because he should have left. He should be going home. And I just didn't understand what he was saying. I know sometimes I can run on, but that whole conversation. No, you gotta. I'm just a little different. I'm a little different, and I'm the king. So you gotta pursue me. I don't be pursuing. I don't be out there. I'm not gonna spend no money to pursue you. I'm not. Okay. Well, how am I supposed to know how that you're interested? So far, that's true though. Looney only has one solid connection. She already missed the week of due to COVID, and she hasn't put herself out there very much. I agree with you on that, but that's only what we're seeing. So she's only had the one date with LJ, but I think that she's trying to make her connection. I think that she's trying to like catch up. I think that she's doing some catch up. So we're gonna see, y'all. We're gonna see. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun. Um, Next week, I think I'll have a whole like board full of Zoe and Sharice because I feel like Sharice can give it to you. I think Sharice likes to give. I think Sharice likes to talk. Sharice likes to put the guys down. Like she don't. I don't think that she has a filter either. Um, that's what I'm trying to say. She's gonna self. I think that she might self eliminate when she meets with nephew Tommy. That's what I'm trying to say. Stay tuned. We didn't see a lot of Tranika either. Nope, we did not see a lot of Tranika. Okay, dates are one thing, connections are another. Looney will be in the bottom because of her connection with LJ and her going to bat for him. That will put her at odds with the other ladies backstabbing time. Mm. Okay, so I do remember Kojo said these next two episodes, this episode here and next week's episode is all gonna be big. So that's interesting. Uh, but we also said the same thing about Sharice. Devin is the one that likes Sharice, but they kept Sharice and got off Dominica. So and I'm gonna look at what Donna D was saying because I don't I'm not seeing the colorism yet just because most of the ladies are chocolate, except for really, but in my opinion, except for Charisse. So but that's not really saying anything. You could have a point, so I'm going to look at that. Tomorrow night, I'm doing Love on Stage with my fellow stage crew member, Tawana. So come and hang out with us, and we're gonna do security rewards. We're gonna talk about this episode. I really wish you guys would. I know it's not on regular tape cable, but it's a really good show. All black content. It's a really good show. Yeah, a little bit, but he's not like he doesn't have all the inside. I think he's only one episode ahead, so it's not like. But I could actually be one episode ahead too if I had the cable thing. So, oh yeah, she's the main one, but she's the one that she doesn't curb her tongue. So, yeah. Absolutely. Sharice will be the main backstabber along with Katie. And I don't know about main backstabber, but she's gonna be very vocal. She's gonna be very vocal. So, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And yeah, more content to come. I'm working on some writing, some projects, so there'll be more of some black content, black creative shows coming as well. So, and just let me know, send me an email, DM me if what you think you'd like to see from me as well. Let me see. Yes, Monique, I wanted to get back to this. Justice gave Tommy the Tina treatment. I totally agree with that. I think the Justice is cutting out early. He's doing a lot of this, sneaking out, not showing up, all of those things. Y'all have a good weekend and thank you so much for hanging out with me.